The secret to being a businesswoman, according to Proverbs 31. When we go online, we are bombarded with ad after ad of people who would like to show you the secret to building a business and making money. You will see things like get rich quick schemes in 10 ways to make 100K a month. When you are truly looking for a way to start a business and generate income, this can be very overwhelming. One day I was led to read Proverbs 31 again. I have read this passage many times, but as I was reading it this time, I began to have a revelation of how the woman in this text was building her business and the principles that she was applying in her business. What tips can we learn from her? What is the foundation of her business? How did she work smarter? What did she do with the money that was being generated? I believe Proverbs 31 contains some major keys that will help you to not only start a business, but build it successfully on a solid foundation. Let's get started. She seeks wool and flax. When starting a business, you have to have a vision. When you have a vision, you are seeing something that no one else can see because it doesn't exist yet. When you are drawing a picture, you see it in your mind before you ever move your pencil across your paper. So when you have a vision, you're able to see the results of your efforts before they even come to fruition. It is this vision that guides you in your business. Your vision will tell you where you need to go. It will tell you the people you need to connect with. It will tell you the opportunities that look good that you'll need and the opportunities that you will need to decline. Now, when you have a vision, it will tell you what tools are needed. Your vision will allow you to see the materials that seem small and insignificant to some people in their true light. Now, in the example of the Proverbs 31 woman, her vision allowed her to see the business that she could build through raw materials of wool and flax. She did not see wool, she saw beautiful garments, coats, and sashes. She didn't see a flax plant, she saw beautiful linen and gorgeous bedspreads. She didn't see grapes in a vineyard. She saw a way to dye fabrics and make priestly purple robes. She was able to see the end result before she started. In order to get through the obstacles that will come when building a business, you have to have a vision of the finish line. This vision is what will keep you going when things get harder on your entrepreneurial journey. Also, your vision will allow you to push through the hard work it will take to create what you saw in your mind and make it a reality. It says in the passage that she worked willingly with her hands. There were no special gadgets to process the freshly shaved wool. There were no machine to help her break down the flax into a material she could weave. She had to use her two hands to process the raw materials before she could even begin to turn it into yarn. Now, when you get some time, go to YouTube and do a search for raw wool or wool processing. It'll blow your mind how much work this lady had to do. But she didn't quit. She kept going, and her vision helped her to finish what she started. She rises while it is still night. If you have studied any entrepreneur, you will see that many say that they wake up early. Now, waking up early will give you a head start on the day. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. Yet, for some reason, some people seem to get more done. They seem to be accomplishing more. On the other hand, many people wake up rushing and trying to catch up. They may have hit the snooze button several times and are late for work. Or they may have decided to sleep in and now it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. In the text, it says the woman wakes up while it is still night. She is getting the needs of her household out of the way before she gets to work for the day. Doing this allows her to have more time to concentrate on her business. These days, there are many women entrepreneurs who still have family responsibilities while growing and sustaining their business. Waking up early is a way to not only get things done for the family, but to also have that quiet time. This quiet time is an opportunity to pray and tell God what you are thankful for. It is also an opportunity to say affirmations and declarations. It's also a time to mentally and physically prepare for the demands of the day through motivation videos and exercise. You can also use this time to make sure you are still focusing on your vision and your goals you have set for yourself. She considers a field and buys it. So in this verse, it says, she considereth a field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands, she planted a vineyard. This is the King James Version. In another version, it says, she takes some of the money that she earned through processing the wool and flax and buys a vineyard. So, with the raw materials, she was able to create some income. She saved some of that money up to buy a vineyard. This is very important. It takes money to get the tools you will need. It takes money to pay for your overhead. It takes money to pay for your training, more inventory, any software you may need, and to pay for hired help. In this example, the woman worked hard and saved a portion of her earnings to invest back into her business. She used the money to buy a vineyard. Now, when I read this a few years back, I thought she bought the field as another business to create another stream of income. Now, if she would have created another stream of income by selling wine from her vineyard, it wouldn't have been a bad thing. It just would not have been in alignment with her current business. It also would have divided her focus between two businesses. As I did a little more research on garments in Bible times, I found out that fashion wasn't as sophisticated back then as it is now. Back then, not only was it a big thing to have different variations of the garments they wore, but to have it in a color was huge. Color, especially the color purple, was considered fancy and expensive. The color purple was for royalty because they could afford a garment that was customized. Now, when you plant any seed, it does not bear fruit the next day. It takes time to sprout and grow into the plant you have envisioned. This woman understood delayed gratification. She knew it would take time to have grapes that she would be able to use to dye garments purple, but she held her vision in front of her and was patient. This is another major principle. Be patient and believe in the vision you have. Be patient and keep your goal in front of you every day. So this woman buys a vineyard to grow the grapes that will dye the clothing that she creates. This here shows that this woman was willing to work harder to set her merchandise apart. It would have been easy to cultivate the wool and flax and just sell them for a profit, but she had bigger dreams. Yes, right now she may be working hard to process this animal hair and plant stems, but she had a plan. She may be working hard right now, but if you have a vision and a plan, that hard work will not be in vain. Your vision gives you a clear view of the end result, but your execution plan gives you a strategy and a roadmap to get to your destination. If you know the business that you want to create, then you can decide what steps you need to take. You can plan how much you need to work in a day. When you know how much money you want to make in a year, you will be able to break that down and determine how much money you need to make in a day. She girds her loins with strength and strengthens her arms. Some people want to start a business because they don't want someone telling them what to do. That can be a sign of not liking authority, or it can be a sign that you were born to be a boss. This is fine. But some people want a business because they actually don't want to work. This is a huge misconception. When you are starting a business, you will actually work harder than being an employee. at least in the beginning. You cannot be afraid of work. If you have a job now, I advise you to respect the job you have, even though you may not like it. It is a job that allows you to pay for your monthly expenses. It is also this job that can allow you to put something aside to invest into your business. Now, when the Proverbs 31 woman buys the field, she doesn't throw a celebration. She understands that it is now that her work really has begun. And even though she has an asset now, she doesn't take time off. In the passage, it says, this is when she rolls up her sleeves to get to work on planting those grapes that will allow her to charge more for her garments. It says she strengthens her arms. In the first book, I touched on Proverbs 31 being a woman who is fit. Let's go a little bit deeper. When you are building a business, you will need to do a lot of work up front. Some of that work is physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually demanding. As a businesswoman, all these parts must be aligned. One of the major parts is physically. Keeping fit is a pillar of running a business. You have to be healthy and take care of your body. It starts with what we eat. If you are working long and hard, junk food will not be able to fuel you. Some junk food can actually destroy your body over time. So if you have ever gone on a diet or a fast for a period of time, you will notice the difference. When you are eating healthy and exercising regularly, you will notice that your thinking is clearer. You will have more energy. You need to have a clear mind to be able to have the mental stamina when building your business. The way you treat your body can determine if you will be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. There are many business people who have achieved so much and have big bank accounts that are not able to enjoy them due to sickness and disease. Spiritually, a person can be unhealthy. Being negative or consuming negativity from the things we hear, see, and say can cause problems. The stress from running a business can affect your health negatively. You have to find ways to do self-care. Also, cultivating the relationships in our lives helps to bring balance. One of those ways is through prayer. Taking time out to worship God and be in His presence does wonders for your peace of mind. Saying affirmations and declarations helps tremendously too. We have to understand that the mind, body, and soul affect each other. If one is out of whack, it will affect another area in your life. She perceives her merchandise is good. This woman has come a long way from having a vision. She doesn't just sit around and fantasize about her business idea. She takes action. Even though she starts very small, she takes actionable steps towards her goals daily. By performing daily tasks, her business begins to take shape. Now, as it begins to take shape, she sees that the merchandise is good. The verse says she perceives. That word, the word perceive here means to notice, to become aware, to know, to discern, to envision, and to believe. So let's replace the word perceive here really quickly. She notices her merchandise is good. She becomes aware that her merchandise is good. She knows her merchandise is good. She discerns her merchandise is good. She envisions her merchandise is good. She believes her merchandise is good. Wow. So the business that started off as just a vision has now begun to manifest in the flesh. This is truly amazing. The very fact that you can take thoughts and ideas and create something tangible is just amazing. For example, let's take a pregnant woman. When she finds out she is pregnant, She may only be 2 or 3 weeks. It doesn't look like it, but there's a baby in there. It's not until the second trimester that she starts to show that she has a baby. She has a child that she's not able to see or hold yet. Day by day, her body is working hard in fleshing out this baby until the day she gives birth. It is on the day of birth that she and everyone else will be able to see what her body has been working on. Now, when you start working on your business, all you have is your vision. People will see you working hard and not get it. They may even make fun of what you're doing because they don't get it. You may even begin to doubt your vision as well. But as you work on your business, one day it will begin to come together and the vision you have will start to become tangible. You will look at your business and know that it is good. Isn't that what God said when He was creating the world? Every time He created a portion of His vision, the word says, and He saw that it was good. Wow. We are created in His image and likeness. He gave us the ability to have a vision and create what we see in that vision. He is the creator, but He has given us the power to create as well. Isn't that wonderful? Then, right after in the verse, it says that her candle does not go out by night. And this can be interpreted so many ways. Have you ever heard the saying, burning the midnight oil? After she sees that the product she has created from the wool and flax is perfect, she doesn't waste time admiring her work. She knows that now she must really grind, even if it's late in the night and she has to get up early the next day. As her vision becomes more clear, the route that she has to take to create her business becomes clearer. She has made the discovery that what she has created has value. Her merchandise not only has value for her and her family, but for others as well. If she doesn't get to work, she will not be able to provide that value that the world needs. And that would just be a shame. If you have been given a vision for a business that will provide value to others, get started. Even if you can only work on it little by little each day, it will grow. But you have to get started because the world needs what you have and you were born to give it. Do something today. She lays her hand to the spindle and holds the distaff. So let's recap. So far, this woman has a vision to create garments. First, she gathers wool from sheep and flax, which is a plant shrub, to create the fabric. Then she buys a field to grow grapes, which she will use to dye the wool in flax. And she cultivates the product to her liking and believes that it is good. Now, once she sees that she has a product that has value, she puts in work to produce more. All of these steps took time, effort, and hard work. It even produced income along the way to reinvest into her business. She has put in so much work, but she keeps going. She doesn't let the fact that she's earning income through the raw materials distract her. She has a vision, and the road to get to that vision is more hard work. Now that she has all of these elements of her business in place, she must now spin the wool that she has gathered and dyed. She now has to take all those bundles of wool and flax and spin them into yarn. I don't know about you, but I'm just tired. I'm tired just thinking about all the work she has to do. I went on YouTube and looked for videos about the spindle and distaff, and what I saw shocked me. These women and men, they're putting these bundles of wool on a long stick and using their fingers to twist and squeeze out yarn while balancing another little device that looked like a toy spinning top. To a millennial, this is absolutely mind boggling that someone would have to do this just to produce clothes. When you look at the process of spinning yarn, it looks like it takes hours and hours of holding a long stick while balancing and rolling wool between your fingers. Go to YouTube and type in spindle and distaff. I found a few ladies on here, Erin Peak and Lois Swales. They have some great videos that break down what it's like to work with these two instruments to produce the yarn or threads to produce the products that this woman envisioned. On one other point to take away is that you must be able to multitask. When you start your business, there are many tasks that need to be done because you are just starting out and you may not have someone who shares your vision or someone that you are able to hire. You will be wearing many hats. And that's okay, even though it may be overwhelming. As long as you are breaking down the parts of your work into small pieces and chunks and taking action every day, it is possible to get a lot of work done over time until you're able to hire help. She stretches her hand to the poor. She reaches forth her hand to the needy. In order to have a successful business, you must be providing value to others. Through the value you provide, you will be helping people in their time of need. That help will come through what you have produced. When you have gifts and talents that God has given to you and you don't share them, you are not offering anything to the world. You are not uplifting and helping the people around you to be better. You may feel like the gifts you have are insignificant, but to someone else, it could be what they have always needed to solve their problems and to live their life well. These products that this woman was making help many people to keep warm in the winter. They help people cover their beds. These products help others who didn't have the time or the sheep to create their own clothes to have access without all the hard work. She also gave to the poor who didn't have money. Giving is a major principle, especially in the area of business. When you give, you are allowing money to flow to you. Now, in the Bible, it says that when you give to the poor and needy, you are actually giving to God. Now, don't get it twisted. God doesn't need your money. Everything you have comes from Him. God wants us to love others with everything that He has given to us. That includes the talents and gifts He gave us. And when we create and produce a portion of the money that comes from the products we create, we should help the poor and needy. In Proverbs 19, verse 17, it says, "He that has pity on the poor lends to the Lord, and that which he gives will He pay him again." She is not afraid of snow. Her house is clothed in scarlet. She makes for herself tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. When you are fleshing out your business based on your vision, you must be aware of times and seasons. Timing is a very important aspect of growing a successful business. You have to understand the time frames of your industry. There's a time to plant. There's a time to let it grow. There's a time to prune away the parts of your business to allow it to continue growing. And you must understand and know the time of your harvest. The passage says that she is not afraid of snow because her household is clothed in scarlet. The garments that she produced did take time to make. It took many months to get the wool from the sheep and process it. It took time to plant a vineyard. It took months for the vineyard to produce the grapes that would dye the wool. It took months to spin that wool into yarn. And just imagine how long it took to weave the yarn into garments. This woman knew the winter was coming, so she worked long hours to make sure that when the winter came, she would be prepared to face the cold. She was not only able to shield her family, but her whole household and other families that needed her product. If she did not get to work on her business those many months ago, it would have been a hard winter. It says that she was able to make tapestry out of the flax as well. Now, Google the word tapestry and click images. With the flax, she was able to make linen. These beautiful blankets and curtains will amaze you. The designs are works of art. So, if you build your business now, in time, it will produce revenue. You will be able to be more confident that when those cold storms blow in your life, you and your household will be able to weather the storm. Also, the timing of your business is not only for your life, but also for what God wants to do through you that will affect the world for that specific time. Think of the inventions that have been made. Imagine if the inventors decided to wait 20 or 30 years later to get to work. How would that decision have affected history? Take note of Proverbs 6, verse 6 through 8, that says, "Go to the ant, you sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, who has no guide, no overseer or ruler, provides her food in the summer and gathers her food in the harvest. She makes fine linen and selleth it and delivereth it, girdles unto the merchant." This woman has spent months creating her products, and she takes the linen that she has made from flax and sells it. This woman is focused on new ways to grow her business. She has created products in her business that are different. She was selling sashes and girdles too, but these variations fit with her vision of creating her garments. Also, she didn't just produce her product, she also sold her product. There are many businesses that have no problem creating a product, but they have no idea how to sell what they make. They have no clue how to market it. Sales are a major part of any business. If you don't make sales, then you will not make money. If you never make a profit, do you even really have a business? You must learn how to sell as a business owner. There are courses that you can take, or if you have a fear of rejection, you may have to put yourself in a position where you will hear no often until that fear has no power over you anymore. Also, if you don't know how to sell, you can hire someone who knows how to. Another important key in this passage is that she sold her products to the merchants. She was able to create relationships with them. By building these relationships, she was able to distribute her products on a wider scale by doing business to business sales. Because the merchants have access to way more customers than she does, she was able to make more money. She looks well to the ways of her household and eats not the bread of idleness. Wow, doesn't this amaze you? A housewife has built an empire of pieces of wool and plants of flax. When we start a business, sometimes it can begin as a desire to make money. As we look over this passage, that desire will not be enough to fuel you to continue in your entrepreneurial journey. When we are able to pinpoint why we want to build a business, money will become a natural byproduct. This woman wants to help her family, and she wants to be able to help others in their time of need. This is her why. Then the vision came to her to use her skill to create garments. The desire to help others is the foundation that her business is built on. Also, the alternative of not working on her vision is being idle. If you know what your why is and you have a vision of what to do and you don't do it, you will feel stuck. You will feel unfulfilled. Why? Because that desire and those gifts that were put into you by God. You may say that you don't know what your gifts are, but if you pay attention, you will know. For example, ever since I could remember, whenever I would see a blank piece of paper, it would trigger something in me. I would get a feeling of excitement. I get excited when I see notebooks or journals to this day. Why? Because I have a gift of writing. I know that sounds pretty weird, but these are some of the things to pay attention to in your life. It doesn't have to be a product, it could be anything. So pay attention. Once you know your gifts and you know your why, ask God for a vision on how to use what He gave you so you can take action. Give her the fruit of her hands and let her works praise her. When you build your business diligently, you will find success. The work you put in will be what you get out of it. If you keep God first in your life, you will find success. Now, when you find that success, don't forget where you came from. Remain humble and let your business speak for itself. God bless you. Proverbs 31 action steps. As you are building your business, keep your vision as a compass to stay on track and not lose focus. Write your goals down and read it every day until it is achieved. Start small and use the materials and tools that you have now. Get up early to maximize the time you have in a day. Have a plan and a strategy to execute. Take care of your health. Always take the time for self-care. Exercise your body. Relax your mind. Recharge your spirit by spending time with God. Taking the money that your business starts to make and reinvest it back into your business for it to grow. Celebrate your mini success, but get back to work immediately. Make sure you create a product that you believe is good and that provides value to others. In the beginning, hustle your butt off. Put in that work. Learn how to multitask until you are able to hire help. Give to the poor and needy. Timing is everything. You cannot plant or harvest in the winter. Be aware of the times and seasons of your industry. Create one main product and then create variations that are in line with your main product. Learn how to sell. Take a sales course. Create and cultivate relationships. Distribute your product to maximize your profits. Know your why and take action daily. Don't forget your family and your personal responsibilities.